Someone bumps into you in a crowded store, and before you can even think about it, the word is already out of your mouth. Sorry, not them, you. They walked into you and somehow you're the one apologizing. If you've ever caught yourself saying sorry for the weather, for someone else being late, for taking up space in an elevator, stay with me because there's a real psychological reason you do this, and it's not about being weak. Apologizing for things that clearly aren't your fault feels like a small, almost automatic habit. People joke about it. Why are you sorry? You didn't do anything. Maybe you've laughed it off yourself, then said sorry again 5 minutes later without noticing. But here's the thing. This isn't random politeness. It's a pattern your nervous system learned. And once you see where it comes from, it stops looking like a flaw and starts looking like something else entirely. For a lot of people, this starts in childhood, in households where conflict felt dangerous, even if nothing physical ever happened. Picture a home where tension in the air, a slammed cupboard, a long silence, meant something was about to go wrong. In that kind of environment, a child learns fast that being the one who says sorry first, even for things they didn't do, is the quickest way to make the tension disappear. A study published in the Journal of Child Psychology and Psychiatry found that children raised in high-conflict households were significantly more likely to develop what researchers term preemptive appeasement behavior. Apologizing before blame is even assigned, just to restore calm. Maybe it wasn't even about you. Maybe a sibling broke something, or a parent had a bad day at work, and somehow you were still the one saying sorry, just to get the room back to normal. Translation: if saying sorry made the storm pass faster, your brain filed that away as the fastest route to safety. And it kept using it long after that particular storm was gone. There's also something researchers call the fawn response. Most people have heard of fight, flight, and freeze, the classic trio your body reaches for under threat. Fawn is the fourth one, and it's less talked about, maybe because it doesn't look dramatic from the outside. It's when your nervous system responds to potential conflict, not by confronting it or running from it, but by appeasing it, smoothing it over before it can even become a problem. If you grew up around someone whose mood could shift without warning, your body learned to scan for tension and diffuse it immediately. And an apology is one of the fastest tools available. It costs you almost nothing to say, and it usually works, at least in the moment. You're not weak when you do this. Your nervous system is doing exactly what it was trained to do, faster than your conscious mind can even weigh in. And then there's the social conditioning layer, which might be the most invisible one. A lot of over-apologizers were praised early on for being easy, low maintenance, no trouble at all. Maybe you were the kid who never made a fuss, the one adults described as so mature that nobody stopped to ask what that maturity was actually covering up. Every time you smoothed something over, someone rewarded you with approval. Being agreeable became tied to being liked, and being liked felt like safety, so you kept doing it, long after the original reward stopped mattering, into rooms and relationships where nobody was even keeping score. Here's where it gets interesting though, because over-apologizing doesn't actually do what people think it does. Research on workplace communication has found something almost backwards. People who apologize excessively, especially for things outside their control, are often perceived as less competent and less confident, not more considerate. Psychologists sometimes call this the credibility discount. Every unnecessary sorry can quietly chip away at how capable you seem, even when your actual work or judgment hasn't changed at all. Think about a colleague who apologizes before every question in a meeting. Sorry, quick question. Sorry, this might be a dumb idea, but... After a while, people start hearing the apology louder than the actual point being made, which means the exact habit built to keep the peace and keep you likable might be working against how seriously people take you. Wild, right? You're trying to smooth things over, and it might be smoothing away your own authority. But here's what nobody tells over-apologizers. This habit isn't weakness. It's not people-pleasing in the shallow, calculated sense some people assume. It's a strategy your body built, under real conditions, to keep you safe from conflict, tension, or disapproval. It worked well enough, for long enough, that your brain kept reaching for it, even after the danger disappeared. That's not broken. That's adaptive. That's actually a pretty sophisticated piece of threat detection, running quietly in the background of every interaction you have. Your nervous system solved a real problem once. It just never got the memo that the problem is over. So if you're someone who says sorry when someone else bumps into you, who apologizes for asking a question, who feels this reflex to smooth things over before there's even a hint of conflict, you're not a pushover and you're not weak. You just learned somewhere along the way that peace had a price, and you've been the one paying it, quietly, automatically, long after you needed to. And the people around you probably never even noticed the cost, because that was always the point. You don't owe the room an apology for existing in it. Some things simply aren't yours to be sorry for. The weather, someone else's mistake, the fact that a meeting ran long. Next time the word starts to come out, pause for half a second. Notice it. You don't have to stop the habit overnight. Just start noticing where the reflex came from, and whether the moment actually calls for it, or whether it's just the old wiring firing on schedule. If this hit home for you, hit subscribe. And if you want to support these deep dives, become a channel member. It genuinely helps keep this going. Next up, I think you're going to relate to the psychology of people who can't sit still in silence, and why that discomfort might be telling you something too. Click that one next.